Whenever you're ready.
All right, so I'm sure that all of us have worked hard at something to achieve something greater than ourselves, to, just put all of your effort into something and then come out the other side better, more well-rounded, and ready for the task. I'm sure all of us have done that, right? So the quote that I had today was, "Nature is what you put into this world to rise above," and that's by the African Queen. And what that says to me, not that nature is something that, but just that you reap what you sow, that the more hard work you put into it is going to give you something on the other end that you're going to rise above. That you're going to be able to come out stronger, better, even if you don't actually make, the actual goal that you're trying to attain. Whatever the hard work that you did to put into it is going to pay off in some way, shape, or form, whether it's actually what you want it to be or not. So I'm going to talk about how I see that working today in some of the political world that's going on right now. I'm going to talk about how it's seen it in my life and how I see it in working in my family's life. So I just read an interesting article the other day about all the elections that are going on, right? Apparently there's an 18-year-old girl in, what's the state? I can't remember the state, but she's Missouri maybe? I'm not sure, but she just went up against, an incumbent for one of the senator spots in her state. And she just worked tirelessly to unseat this Republican incumbent, and she did it. She put up $3,000 of her own, or $4,000 of her own money to come and to overcome this what would seem like an adversity. I don't know. I'm 23, so look at someone who's 18 to do that. It blows my mind. There's no way that I could ever, do that. But she thought, what? This is something that I love. This is something that I really want to do. I'm going to work super hard at it. And she, in fact, got the seat for running for Republican. And then she went up against someone who was very well versed in law. They were very highly sought after Democratic spot, and she took that from her with like a 56% vote rate. So she actually won by quite a good bit. And so that's just an example that's going on today of someone that is striving for something, and she puts up a huge amount. At 18, I couldn't even imagine how much $4,000 was, and she put up that much money for herself to show other people that, look, this is how hard I am trying to rise and to get up and to take this and to do what I want to do and love. So I think that was pretty amazing. In my life, I've actually been through a fire academy. It was a 16-week program where you go 5:30 in the morning to 5:30 at night, and then you got to stay extra to clean up the fire grounds, to help set up and prepare for the next day. And that was probably one of the most grueling tasks that I have ever accomplished in my entire life. We had to, get up, and they screamed at us and they yelled at us in the morning to just run, and then you got to throw these huge heavy ladders and pull hoses 1,000 yards back and forth, and it was very tiring and very tough. But I know that in life I want to become a firefighter, and even though that goal wasn't immediately achieved, I came out of it stronger, better, more determined, more regimented and disciplined. So that was something that I really enjoyed and really liked, and just another example of coming and rising above the challenges to come out the other side bigger and better. And in my family, my dad actually, he has a bad heart. He has a mitral valve, but he had a heart surgery, and he, said that puts a lot of his life in perspective. There's nothing he can really do, but he was supposed to be in the bed for 6 months, just sitting there with the pillow, coughing for 6 months. But he took what the doctors told him, and he said, I'm going to do exactly what they say. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it good. And just through that sheer determination, he just sat. He would do his exercises. He could only walk from the bed to the bathroom and back for about a couple of weeks, but he kept trying and he kept going, and now he's better than ever. And 6 months flew by, and he actually got done, and he could walk up and down the street in about 5, and that was something that the doctor said was never going to happen for like a year, and he actually got to it so quickly. So those are just some examples that I like that kind of show, an 18-year-old girl can be something that is held in our nation as one of the highest political standings, and just going in to something that is supposed to be just super hard and difficult. I was like 19 and going in, and then coming out the other end feeling alive and more adult, and feeling much more confident with myself and my life, and then seeing my dad overcome something that was supposed to take him years and years to get over it. He got through it in just a half a year. So those are some examples I like that show that you really do get what you put into it, even if it's not the actual reward that you're looking for in the beginning. So thank you.
No, you keep that souvenir of the day. All right, Spencer, I thought you did an excellent job with the speech. It was well organized. You had a point that you were trying to make. You identified that early on. There's a preview. I thought maybe the transitions could be a little bit sharper. They seemed like they were very quick, that we moved from one topic to the next, but I could tell where you were. So it's not that they were bad. Maybe they could be just a little bit, I shouldn't say sharper, that they could be smoother between the points, and a little signposting. I mean, I knew when you went to the other point, but it just seemed very abrupt and sudden, and I think maybe the transition could be a little bit smoother. When it comes to content, that's about all I've got. I thought you had excellent development of each of the examples. There was good detail that made the stories interesting, easy for us to listen to. Your delivery, only a couple of things look to me like there's something that you might think about, although most of what you're doing is great. You have excellent audience contact, your voice projects well, you've got good variety in your voice, so everything there is fine. Your gestures are a little bit repetitive, so you have a tendency to do this out thing frequently, and so you might want to think, maybe I should be a little bit more contained and deliberate about those kinds of things. I did like when you did the descriptive gesture a couple of times about all the things. You had us running down the street or something at one point, and that's fine also. But it would mean more if it was happening and it was distinct from everything else going on, as opposed to just a slightly bigger version of what was happening there. So nothing bad, just maybe some things that will look a little bit different. And then your body movement, you do a good job rotating to the audience, but you do it all from your hips. I mean, you basically stood in the exact same spot the whole time, which looks confident, except that it makes it seem a little bit like you're tied to that spot. Okay. And again, it's nothing bad. It's not something that there's a bad thing. I'm just saying, what could you do that might be a little bit better? Because I thought you did a really solid job. Good start. Thank you.